Sergeant Williams, can you give an area of the car with which the shots emanated from?
Yes.
And could you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what area of the car did the shots that killed Anthony Williams emanate from?
From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that killed Christopher Thomas, where did that shot emanate from?
Driver's side back seat.
Okay. Is it possible for there to have been two shooters inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.
So explain what that means.
So, Mr. Williams was not even aware he was about to be shot. When Mr. Williams was shot, Mr. Thomas puts up his hands and is shot, and then is shot again. Okay. There's no time for anybody to switch a firearm. If there were, I believe one of those individuals would be alive. There's no time to switch. It was a very, a rather rapid event of firing.
Okay. Can you say the length of time between the fatal shots and then the staged drive-by shots later on?
It was enough time for the heart to stop beating, for there to be no circulation due to the wounds that I examined from the medical examiner's office. None of the wounds have any blood in them, which tells me that they're all ante-mortem wounds. So the time was long enough for the heart to stop beating.
Okay. Is there scientific or medical testing to recreate that in any way, shape, or form?
Yes, it's knowledge. I'm sure the medical examiner could say the same thing.
So in terms of, it's nothing that can be recreated with a live human?
Correct.
In terms of the number of shots, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were fired inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the shots to the head for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes.
How can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of this jury that, for example, shot that was marked as H in the, here, let's go to 6755. How can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that shot H is not the one that wound up in the face of Mr. Thomas?
Because Mr. Thomas is already crumpling at this point, and he is actually he's in the clear, if you will, of Site H.
How can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that Site H is not the shot to the back of the head of Anthony Williams?
Because Site H continues and strikes Anthony Williams in the shoulder.
In terms of Site K, the one that goes completely across the car, how can you tell that no one was sitting in the rear driver's side seat when that bullet came through the car?
It would have hit their legs.
Was there any sign of blood or anything on that seat?
There were signs of blood on the seat, yes.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is Blue Star? You've talked about it a little bit.
Blue Star is a chemical that is used in forensics. It's very similar to what most people know as luminol.
What's the difference between the two?
Luminol is a very caustic chemical, and it's not really healthy to use. It's effective, but it's not really healthy to use. Blue Star accomplishes the same thing. It still detects blood diluted up to 100,000 times, and it's not caustic.
Okay.
So it's attracted, luminol and Blue Star, they're both attracted to the heme group of blood, primarily iron, and it will detect trace amounts of blood even after it's been washed. So if you have blood on your shirt and you throw it in the wash, and throw it in the dryer, and then hand it over to me, I'm going to tell you to put it back in the wash because there's blood on it still.
Okay. What if it's been 5 years?
You'll still get that result.
Okay. And what type of result are we looking for?
We're looking for blood.
And so what does it look like if there is blood?
So if there is blood, and that's the other difference between luminol and Blue Star. With luminol, the illumination of the luminescence of the blood, the hemigroup, is not as bright, and it is not as lasting. So you have to be very quick with your photograph in order to get it. With Blue Star, it is very bright, and it's lasting, so it's long enough for us to get a photograph of it multiple times, and if we need to, we can come back and squirt it again and duplicate the result if we're not happy with our photographs.
Okay. In terms of the luminol, does that destroy the DNA?
No.
Okay. Does Blue Star destroy DNA?
No.
So is there a version that the sheriff's office uses now? More so than the other? Is there a preference?
We primarily use Blue Star.
Before we end, is that something you could demonstrate here in court as to how Blue Star works?
Yes.
Do you have some with you?
Yes.